Puppy, P-U-P-P-Y. And it's on there. You'll be able to find it.
And that was Proverbial Girl. So, in the video, you say that you met her at church, right? And when we were on break, you said that story was based off of a true story. So, why don't you go ahead and tell the viewers kind of, where the Proverbial Girl came from?
Man, once again, like I said, I met this girl at church, and I was digging her. I was like, I don't know why it was something about church girls. Then I tried to get at her. She rejected me. She wasn't messing with me because she knew my actions. She knew my tendencies. So it was what it was. And I remember one day I ain't gonna lie to you. I was blowed, and I said, and the concept came to my mind. I said, Proverbial Girl, Proverbs 31, and I just wrote it out, and found a beat for it, bought the beat, went ahead and put it out there, got with Jay Hen, and we did the video.
That's what's up. Yeah. So are you into church girls? Are you into the church? What's your belief on that?
I'm into girls who are themselves, regardless if they in the church, out the church, wherever. I'm into girls who are comfortable with the skin that they're in, who love themselves. But I'm not in church. I'm not a religious person. Love is actually my religion. That's the only thing I kind of really believe in, love.
Absolutely.
But I didn't grow up in a church home. I grew from projects. We didn't want to go to church like that.
Right.
And I didn't really get into the whole aspect of religion until I came out here to Oklahoma. So that's how I kind of got involved in the church and started going to different churches in the city. But once I kind of had my revelation or woke up, that's when I was like, what, this is not right. Like, something is off about this.
Absolutely, so, and I'm with you there. And so you're not originally from Oklahoma, if I'm understanding that right. So where are you from originally?
I'm from Los Angeles. I grew up in Nicholson Gardens Projects, and I lived in South Central the rest of my life, and then came out here when I was 17.
And you've been out here ever since?
Yeah.
Well, how do you like it here in comparison to Los Angeles?
It's family oriented here. I can literally go anywhere around the city and people treat me like I'm like their cousin or something. So that's what I love about Oklahoma City. I don't get that same honor in LA. So LA is so divided. When I was living up there, when I was growing up, gang banging, took a toll on everybody's life, especially after the 80s when crack messed up our families.
Absolutely.
So when coming out here, it was just like, wow, like it's different.
And that's interesting because you hear a lot of people from Oklahoma, including myself, that's just like, well, I can't wait to get out of here. It's not family. It's nothing like that. So you see the big lights and you see all of that in LA, and you kind of make people here kind of want to go there. But it is nice when people come from other states and they do have nice experiences, in our city and in Oklahoma, because you really don't get a lot of Oklahoma residents themselves really giving our city as much props as they should. And I'm a firm believer in, you just got to get out here and figure out your city. Everybody's not into everything. Like, I'm the type of person, like, I'm not going to go to the club. But I do like rock climbing. That's something that I like doing. I do like wine tasting. That's something that I like doing. I like the Tiger Safari. I think our aquarium in Jinx is one of the best aquariums out here. So definitely visit your city. Get to know your city. It's not as bad as people make it seem, and it's a great place to live. I talk to people all over the world. Economically, this is a great place to live. So get out there, get to know your city. And tell people about Dope Poetry Night. For those of you who don't know, it is every Wednesday. Am I right?
Yeah.
All right. So talk a little bit more about that, and how did that even come about?
I know it started off last year. The owner of Ice Event Center, Mark Fleming, he wanted to bring back poetry into the city because there was no other place in the city that was doing poetry. So he said, I'm gonna go ahead and throw that in there. And so first he had Jay Wigg. Shout out to Jay Wigg and Concept Productions. They had him hosting. I actually came to the first show. I was the first poet to actually perform. And then that following Wednesday, Jay Wigg had to go out of town. And Mark Fleming called me and said, I need you to host. I was like, can you host? I said, yeah, I can host, So came back, it was fun. And the next thing you know, that next week, he was like, I need both of y'all to host. I said, all right, cool. Me and Jay Wigg, we going to be in here, Dope Poetry. So we've been going on for a year.
And so how's the progress gone? Has the audience grown more, or kind of is everything growing, getting better every Wednesday?
Everything. I remember when we first started off, we had like 10 and 15 people there, intersecting throughout the week. And then when January came, we was large numbers. I said, whoa, what's going on? So I had to come back, with poetry, different poem every week. I got
right, because I got to step my game up.
Yeah,
it kind of forces you to kind of go hard and get into that mode. And so that's every Wednesday. And then I know the last Wednesday of every month you have something called Eargasms. So from what I gather from Eargasms, it's just like, a sexual explosion of the ears, if you will. So, and I am all about, let me just tell you guys, I am all about erotic poetry, okay? I am all about it. I write it, I live it, I love it. So, let's talk about erotic poetry and how you kind of got the idea of doing that.
I didn't get the idea. Like I said, the owner of IEC was just like, we need to spice it up a little bit, so he brought up Eargasms and, you could tell the whole Oklahoma is a bunch of freaks because
absolutely
the whole IC Event Center was packed that day from wall to wall. Everybody, I'm like, whoa. So that's how Eargasms came about. We was like, we want to give people something nasty. Sex sells. Here in America.
Absolutely.
So that's one thing. We trying to touch a wide range of audiences. So that was the purpose of Eargasms, to kind of bring out the freaks,
And so how do you feel like when you write erotic poetry versus when you're writing poetry about experiences and pain and just life? Is there a different mode that you go into?
It's I write most of my poems on the floor. I don't know if that's weird, but I used to write poetry to different songs. So if I hear a song, I'm like, I can write a verse to that. I'm gonna go ahead and just in case they might hit me up.
Right. You never know.
Yeah. So most of my poems do come from experiences or life lessons and things of that nature. So
does the erotic poetry, does that come from personal experiences and thoughts?
Yeah, I be trying to let people know about that.
So just so you know, ladies, those erotic poems, now, they are from his personal experiences. Just so you know. So
you're going to have the inbox.
Speaking of that, let's go into that. Or who is Proverb the man? Do you have anyone special in your life right now? Are you looking? Where are you at with that?
I'm not looking. I don't have anyone special in my life. Only because I'm so focused. I feel like sooner or later that person is going to come in my life. But right now, I have a hard time with relationships. The ideal of marriage and all those stuff anyway. So I don't really focus on that.
And so why is that? Why would you say you have a hard time with the idea of that?
Even though I grew up in a 2-parent home and my mother and father was in my life, I never really, it just never really made sense to me, because I know that we all live in a different paths. I know that we all have our own purpose of being here. So when you meet somebody, does that purpose get put on hold, or what happens to that purpose?
So do you think that marriage is it almost kind of from a selfish standpoint? Is there a form of selfishness in that type of union in your thought process?
Yeah, in a way, because I know I'm a community man. Not saying that I'm out giving community dick or nothing.
Right.
I'm a community man. I like to give myself to my people. Especially the youth. So I don't see myself just giving myself to one person for the rest of my life.
Well, you bring up an interesting thing, because there is more women in the world than there are men. So if you were to put one woman with one man, there would be a lot of women left out.
Yeah, I'm glad you
said that. The reason that I say that, and let me just say before I even put this question out there, I am a supporter of polygamous relationships. I am. Now, for me, it would have to be an economic structure, not so much as a sexual structure, but I'm not opposed to that. So when you say that, you don't really want to limit yourself to one person, would a polygamous relationship be something that you would entertain, or what's your thought on that?
What man, gonna say no to that?
Mine. I'm just playing. Go ahead.
I respect polygamy only because, when we talk about the nature of who we are, like you said, there are way more women in the world. So if there's a such thing as soulmates, so then that's going to leave out, a lot of women, because like you said, there's more women in the world. So is that whole idea of soulmates real?
Right.
Can God leave people out? So that's what I have a problem with. But as far as polygamy, let me try to try to conquer the feeling of being with one woman before I even start having, multiple. So
would you say that that's a wall that you would have to break down, is even just getting the feeling of that?
No, I ain't no wall.
Okay.
I'm ratchet. So.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. We like ratchet at RedZone TV. We like all types of people at RedZone TV. We do not discriminate. But here's my thing. So me, I'm not against polygamous relationships, and like we both agree, a lot of women would be left out. And I'm a firm believer that there's not just one soulmate. Mm-hmm. But now I feel like we've kind of gotten into the whole side woman, side men thing. Mm-hmm. And, just from, I feel like poets in the general, they analyze and observe. And of course, we pull from personal experiences. So when you hear people, just talking about, side woman, side man, I know this side girl got a song out called The Weekend, which is kind of glorifying that women just seem to love. So what is your opinion of, side women in that particular term?
I mean, there's side men too.
Absolutely.
Remember the girl that I said I was in a domestic? Yes, mm-hmm. I was the side.
Of course. Well, that could rile up a little anger then. So
it wasn't anger on my part. It wasn't anger on my part, but it was just the fact, like, she didn't tell me, and she went like a whole 4 to 5 months without telling me. And between those whole 4 to 5 months, we getting it in. So I'm like, where did it come from?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, he was there before. Oh, I'm the.
That's disrespectful.
Well, it wasn't disrespectful because, like I said, like when it comes to relationships, I'm too focused on me, so it was just like.
And plus, you ratchet, so it's okay.
Yeah, so it was all right. Okay. And then things just went left. But
so would you be like against the side woman? Do you think a side woman is wrong, or do you think a side man is wrong? Do you think that's kind of a bad thing to be? In a sense,
I think whenever, in that sense, when ideas and emotions get involved, I think that's when things get a little sidetracked. Or like, what's the purpose for a side woman or a side man? Like, all right, if he or she is there for you, just as a friend, that's different. But if they're there for a sexual thing, that's when things get a little misconstrued. That's when things get wild up. So
I guess in that instance, then there's different levels of side women and side pieces then, because there's an emotional side piece and there could be a physical side piece. And then there could be both. So let's see about the physical. So let's say you have a woman who's engaged with a man that is obviously in a primary relationship with another woman, but that woman is okay with that sexual interaction. Here's my question. And I've always wanted to know a man's opinion on this. So, a man and a woman are in a relationship, and this man has a side piece, I guess we will say. The woman then finds out about this particular side piece. The woman, however, feels that she needs to approach this particular side piece. In your opinion, do you feel that is the correct way to handle that situation?
No, it's always, she has to go to her husband. The side piece, she's just playing her role. That's what she wants to do. That's her role. But you always got to go to the other spouse, to the other mate, because it was the mate's decision. You can't blame the side piece, because I ain't gonna say that she didn't know no better, but she have no connection, no ties, no nothing to that man other than what they do on a physical level. But as far as anything else, yeah, she knows that the wife needs to go to the husband.
And you know what? It's so funny that you say that, because I get a lot of slack for having that opinion, because I feel as though the side woman has no obligation to the primary woman in the relationship, whether or not, and some women believe in a code against women or amongst women or whatever. I don't, because I feel as though, and here's just my opinion, if the situation was on me, I'm one of those people that I look within first. So if I find out that my man is stepping out on me with another woman, the first thing that I'm honestly going to do is I'm going to ask myself, why did this happen? What could I have done to prevent that from happening? And honestly, go ahead.
Do you believe that